Hey, what's up, guys? Phil here. I'm back with my NHL first round 2013 Stanley Cup playoffs. I think it's going to be a great Stanley Cup playoffs, so let's get right into it. The 1 versus the 8 seed in the East, Pittsburgh and the Islanders. I surprisingly think this is going to be a competitive series. Pittsburgh defense does worry me a little bit. I like that the Islanders, some of the Islanders' young talent like Oposo and Grabner, are finally going to get some national exposure. So I think in the end, I think the Islanders will take a couple games in their building on Long Island. I think Pittsburgh are going to win this game in 6. I think Pittsburgh wins their first 2 at home. I like the Islanders winning their 2 at home. And I like Pittsburgh winning at home game 5 and Pittsburgh wrapping it up game 6. I'm going to pick Pittsburgh in 6. Montreal and Ottawa, 2 versus 7 seed. I don't know how Ottawa does it. Team was injured all year. Most of their key guys out. They still managed to find a way to get into the playoffs. Props to them. Montreal, last year was in the basement. This year get into the 2 seed, winning the Northeast Division. Like the job Mike Therrien did with this team, bringing his philosophy from Pittsburgh over to Montreal. I had to think about this one for a while, but I think at the end it comes down to the better goaltending. I do like Carey Price. I think he will win him a few games with these great goaltending. So I'm going to pick El Canadien in 6. Like Montreal in 6. Capitals and Rangers. I like the Capitals moving on in this one. Rangers, I just didn't think had a lot of chemistry this season, to be honest with you. They're just, their stars weren't really meshing together. It took them till very late in the season to finally clinch a playoff spot. So, Capitals, on the other hand, have been the hottest team in the NHL. They are really hot after a terrible start. Sort of like last year. Got off to a bad start, still found a way to manage to get into the playoffs. So, I'm going to pick the Capitals to win this series in 6 games and move on. Boston and Toronto should be a good series. This is my biker gang type series. I think there's going to be a lot of fights, a lot of hard hitting. I know there's going to be a lot of fights. There's going to be a few brawls in this series. I really look forward to watching this series. But at the end of the day, I just think Boston has a little too much playoff experience for Toronto to handle. Was a good season for Toronto, finally getting over the hump, but I got to go with the Bruins in this one. I'm going to pick the Bruins to win in 6. Now on to the Western Conference. Chicago and Minnesota. I honestly thought Minnesota would be a little better than an 8th seed. They're running into this Chicago team who had a great season, had a great start, obviously. Went like 30 games before getting a regulation loss, which was amazing. I just think, again, Chicago will just be too much for Minnesota in this series. Minnesota had a good season with the acquisitions, sneaking into the playoffs, but I got to give this game to Chicago. I got to give this series to Chicago. I'm going to pick them to win 5 and win in 5. I think Minnesota might win 1 in their building, but other than that, it's all Chicago in this one. I'm going to say Chicago in 5. Ducks and Red Wings. Red Wings struggled to make the playoffs this year. I'm surprised they're in there, to be honest. Ducks had a great season. Kind of overlooked for what the Blackhawks did. I'm going to pick the Ducks to win this series in 6 games and beat a aging Detroit team. I like Ducks in 6. Vancouver and San Jose. It's going to be a good series. This was a tough one to pick. I really had to think about it. I'm going to pick Vancouver to win this in 6. Just like the way Luongo. You can't go wrong with Luongo in net in the playoffs. You just can't. I hope they go with Luongo. As I saw he got lit up the other night for 7 goals, but got to go with Luongo until he gets beat in the playoffs. So give me the Canucks in 6. The last one, the hardest one of them all I had to think about. Blues and the Kings. Do the Kings have another playoff run in them this year? I don't think so. I think it's going to be a lot harder this year. I think the Blues this is the year they finally get over the hump and win a playoff series and move on to the next round. I just like the Blues. I mean, I like their offense. I really like this Tarasenko kid they have. He's really good. They got a lot of scoring. The key for the Kings, if they want to win this series, they got to keep the Blues out of their zone. So I'm going to say St. Louis wins a thriller series in 7 games and moves on. So that'd be it for first round. See how many you get right. Bye-bye.